1. Having temporarily won its battle in the Supreme Court on packaging, isn't it time for New Delhi to discourage smoking? How can government discourage smoking? GS Paper 2. Issues relating to development and management of social sector, services relating to health, education, human resources. What is the issue is about? A new regulation urged mandatory large pictorial warnings on cigarette packages. But most of the tobacco companies are resisting it. As per the Supreme Court's directives, the larger warnings must be printed, that is up to 85% of the packet must be devoted to graphic messaging. How can government discourage smoking? This should include a range of measures. A total ban on tobacco advertising and promotion. Restrictions on smoking in public places and in the workplace. Sustained increases in tobacco taxation combined with measures to curb smuggling. Large, bold health warnings on tobacco products. Smoking cessation and health education campaigns, and the regulation of tobacco to standards agreed by the health community rather than those set by the tobacco industry. What are the pros of smoking bans? They reduce the risk of second-hand smoke being inhaled by non-smokers. Second-hand smoke, according to experts, can lead to increased risk to emphysema, cardiovascular disorders and respiratory problems. By restricting the places where smoking is allowed, this can be prevented. Supporters also say that states and cities which have non-smoking policies and prohibited smoking in restaurants and public indoor spaces have better indoor air quality. If it is prohibited, employees can be more productive. They reduce healthcare costs. Since healthcare costs take around 9.3% of the country's GDP, reducing it can affect the economy in a positive way. They decrease the possibility of fires while interacting with highly flammable materials. Cigarette butts are non-biodegradable and can clog water systems if thrown recklessly. With banning smoking in public places, there will be lesser cigarette butts and lesser toxic garbage that can be stuck in water systems. If smoking is banned in public places such as malls and restaurants, there will be lesser need to use ventilation, and this can result to lesser energy consumption and, in effect, lesser expense. What are the cons of smoking bans? They take away freedom from people. Some critics see smoking bans as a violation on one's personal liberty. They argue that people should have the autonomy to decide on what kind of lifestyle they will have. Restricting smoking in restaurants and coffee shops can drive customers away, and this can be harmful to businesses. Smoking ban policies do not have enough teeth since repercussions are not harsh enough. They drive people to smoke somewhere else. This can even lead to increased cases of DUI fatalities since smokers might drive to other places just so they can smoke. The government earns from high taxes paid by tobacco manufacturers and smokers. If cigarettes will be reduced, this would mean lesser taxes and lesser revenue for the government. Conclusion. The controversy on smoking bans is not to leave the debate arena soon. While legislation is to be favored over voluntary controls, the key to the successful implementation of these measures is winning public support and ensuring proper enforcement. There will always be people who will advocate for banning smoking in public places for concerns on health issues and fire hazards. However, there are also those who are firm in opposing it. And although there is a higher percentage of people who are behind smoking bans, Imposing these policies nationwide is not going to happen in the near future because the views of people will always be divided.